What's going on, guys, and welcome back to TotalOzSpurs. I'm joined today by Delane, and bro, what a dreadful game we had to watch the other day.
What do we do? Where do we go?
Well, where do we start? That's the thing.
Where do we start? That's all I gotta say.
I'm hearing multiple things after the game, but we'll get into that after it. Just want to mention that some of the boys are back from holiday now. I came back early, but Lee and Brad are definitely back from holidays, so they'll be joining us in future live watch-alongs and videos. But bro, the lineup. Did you say? Do you think it was a successful one, considering the result of the game? I mean, no Kulu, Dyer got dropped. We played Doherty on the right, and we had pretty much next to no firepower on the bench.
Yeah, look, I think Conte picked it wrong. I think he should have. I understand the Dyer situation. Like Dyer didn't play well against Brentford. I understand that. So I think Langley, was going to step up, and Davies. Just the Hill one. Look, I just don't think. Look, he didn't play too bad. There was points in the game where he actually shined. I was actually thinking, this kid could do something. Could change it for us. But then I think he just shot off. We didn't see much of him after the second half. Like he just didn't do much. But I admit he kept up. He was pressing hard and all that. But yeah, look, I just think Conte got it wrong. I think he should have played that 5-3-2, which I think, and as probably there's reports out there, or most Spurs fans saying that Basuma played well, which me and you seen it. He played absolute dreadful. I don't know what he was doing.
I think because he looked good at the start of the second half when he was making those drives, and when I actually thought we're going into the game, when he got the ball off kickoff and he went into the final third off a run from midfield. But he was horrendous. He lost the ball so many times. Defensively, he wasn't on it. He wasn't protecting the back five. And we were calling for him to get subbed off at half time. I think Skip could have done exactly the same as he did. But going back to what you were saying, I was just thinking just then, and actually the 5-3-2 we should have played that because we had no attacking power, no attacking threat on the bench. And I'm not saying that Hill is a threat, but when we lost Kulu at the start of the season and we only had Richarlison, Kane, and Son, we transitioned to that front two because we didn't have the firepower. And for me, you could have stuck Skip in there with Højbjerg and Basuma, and then if we were chasing the game, you could have switched it up and taken one of them off and chucked Hill on at the back end when he's good. And I will say Hill had a decent game in terms of the energy. He has an engine on him. He likes to run. He likes to press. However,
definitely.
You compare him to Kulu, and it's just that end product. Kulu can carry the ball. Kulu can shoot. Kulu can put the ball in the box, and it's just Hill's missing those extra quality that Kulu brings. And the thing is, they're the same age.
Yeah, look, I just think Kulu has a bit more, experience. Playing for Juventus. I think he's just, and plus the strength he backs. Kulu's got strength where Hill can't bump off players where Kulu can. He can jump on his right and push players off where Hill can't really do that much. He's short and small, but as you were saying before, like you can't really blame his size. Like Bernardo Silva, who else?
David Silva,
all them small players. Like
Luka Modric, they have the skill and the technique to be able to do those things. And obviously, they're different types of players. Luka Modric and David Silva are more of a midfielder creator type of role, but you look at David Silva, he plays on that right hand side off the left, and not David Silva, Bernardo Silva. But I want to cover some of the things that we watched in that game, and I've been watching over the past couple of days on Twitter and different Tottenham accounts, and here you go. Is it time for him to be dropped? Because that's the third mistake this season he's done, and that should have been an easy catch. The ball was shot right at him, and he rebounded it, and Buddy Bendoia got the rebound and scored. And I think that's what really killed us because we had momentum in that second half. And if that goal doesn't go in, I feel like we could have kept going with the way we were playing and scored that goal.
Yeah, look, I think it's time for Hugo to go. Look, he's been a great servant for us. You know, he's been the most capped player for us. But I just think it's time for him to go. Like, he's just not as he used to be. And the thing is, it frustrates me more. He's, gone to the final of the FA World Cup. Sorry,
Your
and
moldy tendencies come out there.
oh,
It's not the
sorry,
All
bro.
Blacks.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I wish
I
it
apologize.
was.
They probably would have played better. But no,
Yeah.
look, I just think he's come back from the World Cup and he did well and for France, but then he's come back to us and it's just like he's gone back to his old original, making these stupid mistakes, not catching the ball or just I don't know, man. I think it's time for him to go. I just don't know how much more we could take of him. Like he's our captain. He's our captain, but I just think it's time up.
And it's hard because he is one of our longest serving, if not the longest serving, above Kane in the squad. He came in 12, 13 years ago. But going into the defence, and I think our defence was harshly done by. Apart from Davies, I don't think that the yellow cards were warranted. And the fact that they were so early in the game, it really inhibited us to defend against those goals. Romero couldn't go in. He was doing really, really well going into tackles at the start. And as soon as he got that yellow, which he got a yellow for getting the ball, that referee was shocking, but I'm not going to put
that 100%. That referee was
but, we've got three centre-backs on yellows in the first half. It's piss poor from the ref, but I also think Conte needs to be looked at because for me, either you take two of them off, put Dyer on and put a midfielder on and go to a 4-3-3, or you take one of them off at least. I would have said Davies or Langley, probably Davies because Langley can play on both. Just so Dyer can go in and make those tackles without having to worry about getting sent off. It was really, really weird not to see an interchange of a centre back until late in the game, and I think it hurt us a lot with the yellow cards, but it also hurt us that Conte didn't make any changes. Now,
yeah. I think Romero's like one of our best. I think Romero's
he's back to the original Romero, going in, taking out.
That's what I love. That's why I love him. He's just so aggressive.
And that yellow card wasn't a yellow card. It was a great tackle. Got all ball.
That was a beautiful tackle.
He actually got a yellow card for the tackle after that, where they were putting for a yellow to get him a second yellow, and that should have been a yellow, his first yellow, to be honest. But it's quite surprising that they got yellow so early, but also that Conte didn't change it up, and I think that also helped Aston Villa because they knew they could go gun ho, and they can take riskier passes. They could run out of defence a bit more because they knew that our centre backs were on yellows and had to be a bit more standoffish, had to let them run a little bit more, had to time the tackles better. And when we're chasing a game, it's really, really hard not to throw your foot in to try and win the ball to counter attack. So I want to give it mention to Perisic. I think he had a decent game up and down that wing, but he was getting double teamed by Ashley Young and by McGinn. McGinn was covering the right or the left side for us because of Son and Perisic. But this leads to Son and Kane. I've never seen them play so badly together. The connection looks like it's just gone. It's like either it's the system or it's Son and Kane themselves haven't got that that spark. Sometimes players go through it where they have a bit of a lull with their best mate and things drop off for a little bit. But yesterday was the worst I've seen them play in a while.
I agree with you. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going behind the scenes and trainings. I usually watch the videos of them training, and it seems like they're doing all right. But, behind the scenes of when cameras are not on, I don't know. And it's really worrying to see those two not sparking because there are threats. And if they're not on ball, where are we going to score goals from? A midfield?
Yeah, I did say in the stream. I did say in the stream that we need Son to get back on form and start scoring goals. Otherwise, we ain't going to make top four. We can't rely on Kane and then Cooley when he's in and out the squad all the time with injury to push us up this league. And now it's really, really worrying. We actually got a bit of a leeway with Liverpool and Chelsea both dropping points. But even then, like United are right on our tail again. Well, United are above us still, but it's really, really hard. We've got to start winning these games. And after Crystal Palace, we've got to play City, Arsenal and City, who are both above us and both on great form. Well, City, are a bit up and down this season. As soon as they bought Haaland, he's banging in goals, but they seem to not be the team that they were last year. And Arsenal are just flowing, and it's upsetting to see. But this leads to the next thing I want to talk about. It's Enoch and Daniel Levy. Now, we've all seen the videos of the Levy out chant at the game. We've seen all the accounts. I don't think Tottenham has released a statement yet since the loss. And there has been an announcement that Conte, Paratici, and Levy have gone into an emergency meeting talks about where the club is going. And Conte has alluded that the fans deserve better, which we do. We waited, it's been 14 years, nearly 15 since our last trophy. We haven't won the league in the Premier League era, and every chance we've gotten close to it, we haven't been backed. And is it time for Levy and Enoch to go? And I'm going to put my opinion first. I think there's no excuse. If we don't go for any players this transfer window, then they've got to go, because we're already hearing that Porro, we put a 35 mil bid, they want 40 mil, and we're going, nah, sorry, too much. It's out of our reach. 5 million euros for a top right wing back who's playing CL football and he's young. One of the best attacking right wing backs in the Champions League this year, and we're scrabbling over 5 million euro, 10 million euro. Like, we made that back with the Tyson Fury fight. I just don't get it. And I think it's down to Levy and it's down to Enoch not wanting to spend money, and they want to make the club as profitable as possible. And they've done really, really well in getting us there, but they've got to start investing in the team. And it looks like, once again, I'm hearing so many rumors. 1 minute they're going to be backed. Next minute, we don't have the money. Next minute, we want to focus on youth players. Next minute, the players that we want aren't available. It's all over the shop, and it's disgusting to see.
Yeah, you summed it up right, bro. I'm with you. I think if we don't get hard in the transfer window, Levy, Enoch, out. See you later. You're gone. Because Conte, the point is, why do we sign Conte for? You know what Conte is about. He wants players that are experienced, not young, but experienced and ready to go. He wants that. So you should know straight away, as soon as you sign Conte, I want those players. Now, what you said before about Pedro Porro, oh my Lord.
We could have had him. He could have been a Tottenham player right now if we dropped that 5-10 mil. It would already have been signed.
And this is what pisses me off about Tottenham, or about Levy and Enoch. They wait and wait and wait. Where you got Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, going straight away, done deal, bang, done.
Yeah, I'm hearing United are trying to hijack Mudryk. Is it Mudryk from Shakhtar, from Arsenal? Liverpool have got Gakpo. United are looking at getting Endo Fernandez as well. Chelsea have already got Nkuku, and they've got Fofana.
I mean, Chelsea's trying to go for Enzo Fernandez. Apparently, he's agreed personal terms.
It's like the top, and then Newcastle might be going for Maddison, who we should be going for, but apparently they're going for Maddison. So it's like all the teams around us are going for players that are going to improve. That would improve our squad straight away. Gakpo walks into our team. I know he plays on the left-hand side for Son, but at the moment, Gakpo's in better form than Son, and Son, I feel, probably needs to be dropped again because he's not. But the thing is, we can't drop him because we've got no one to replace him. But Gakpo walks into our team. Endo Fernandez walks into our team. Porro walks into our team. Nkuku walks into our team. Fofana, obviously back up for Kane, but, all these players that we're looking at, Mudryk will walk into our team. I've seen a bit of Mudryk. I've been watching him. And that's the thing. It's, why aren't we going for these players, or why didn't we get this sorted during the World Cup? The World Cup was the best time for Conte and Paratici to get the targets and then to push them forward and work on them prior to the window opening. And then once again, Tottenham, we were first out the gate in the summer, and then we died off because it was like, we've got 6 or 7 players. That's it. Don't buy anyone for another month and a half. We can't afford to do that. If they want Champions League football, they're going to have to buy, and Levy's going to have to put his hand in his pocket, because if he does that and we get Champions League again, as Conte said, he only needs 2 or 3 new players every window. Or every season, if he's got 13 or 14 ready-made players for his system. we've only got about, I'd say about five players or 6 players in our
5 or 4.
Let's
bro,
call
for
it.
me.
You've got Kane, Son, Kulu. I'd say Bentancur and Højbjerg can do this system. And then I would probably say Romero and Perisic. We've got 7. We need at least 7 players, ready-made players, because our 2 centre-backs, goalkeeper, our right wing-back, and our are not cutting it. And then the backups for those aren't cutting it. Maybe Richarlison, so maybe 8. But that's 8 players out of 14, 15 players that Conte needs to challenge for the title.
It's just we don't push the boat out enough. We don't. We just sit back and wait for them to go. Okay, we'll drop a price a bit, and then we'll go in. Don't drop it, because as soon as you drop it, another team's going to come in and they're going to take it. And I'm very frustrated. And I hate transfer windows. I hate them because we're always late to the party.
As a Tottenham fan, we hate him.
Yeah, as a Tottenham fan, we hate it because we're always late to the party. And Levy does his old special deadline day transfers, and it's just very frustrating.
He gets all the players that need to go that no one else has really gone in for, and then goes, "Oh, look how good a deal we got." And that's the thing. You're right. If we keep lollygagging, Porro's going to go. Some team will grab him. We're looking at now Juventus and Barcelona rejects, because Barcelona have been told they have to remove 200 mil of wages from their bill, and they can't use anything to subsidize it anymore. So like, we're looking at Kessie, we're looking at Ferran Torres, and that's the thing. If they're going for dirt cheap, Ferran Torres is not going to go to us. If another team like, Milan or Inter or Bayern or one of these teams that have got money that they can drop on a player, 20 mil for Ferran Torres, they're going to go and get him. That's the thing. We should be tying this deal up as soon as we heard, bang, go get him. I like Ferran Torres. I've seen him at Barcelona. He's a decent player. Didn't suit City, but I think he could do a thing for us. Kessie, I'm hearing, I did want him before he went to Barca, but I think he could do something for us. It's another midfielder that's more defensive. I don't know if he's more defensive minded, but I don't see him as the creative midfielder. So for me, it's like, well, Ferran Torres. I'd rather Ferran Torres over Kessie because he brings something in attack that we need. But the main player that we need is the right wing back, and Porro should have been signed first hour of the first fucking day of the window, because that's the one player we're targeting. He's the one player we're going for.
I'm sick of hearing this news about Porro, the deal's closed or the deal's off. Like, fuck me. Like, come on, man. Get the deal done. Pay that extra $5 million. Get that done with. That's another one done. Go get the creative midfielder. Well, I'm hearing Malinowski. He's been lingering around. There's been rumors of him lingering around that he wants to come over. Go get it. I just hate this, man. I hate waiting till, deadline day. We'll go get him now. No. It's very frustrating as a Spurs fan to watch what Daniel Levy and Enoch do in their work. It's just really frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know how he survived, bro. I don't know how he survived this long. And this leads to my last question. But before that, what were you going to say?
No, I was basically going to go on the same question. The same one you're going to say. Does Conte walk? And I think he's going
to. That's the thing. I think that emergency talk as well was Conte saying, "What are you going to give me? Because if you don't, I'm going. There's nothing I can do." And he's openly said it. There's unrealistic expectations for the squad that he has, and I will defend Levy on this one thing, and I think Conte needs to maybe look at himself for a little bit and go, maybe I should, if he's not going to give me the players, maybe I should try and change the system to suit the players that I have until he does. However, that's where it stops, because I think if you bring a manager in like Conte and you know his system, you don't veer from what he wants. If he's won with this system and that's what he wants, and you're bringing him in, he wants certain players for his system. You don't sit there and go, well, just make do with what you have. That's what they want Poch to come back for, because Poch will do that. Poch will fit players into what he needs, and he'll play youth if he has to, and he'll get a tune out of them, and that's fair enough. I will say Conte does need to maybe adjust himself to try and win the next few games until he gets the players that he needs. However, I also think that if he does that and we start winning games, Levy will go, oh, look, you're winning games now. You don't need more players. So I personally think that maybe losing this game and the way that we did was a blessing in disguise. But I really hope we don't lose Conte, because for me, in order for us to win trophies, in order for us to challenge for the title, we need top level managers with the mindset that Conte has. And if we lose him, we might as well just be a mid-table club and knock down the stadium, rebuild the old White Hart Lane, and just chill there. Because what was the point?
No, I agree with you. Look, I'll probably look in a way. I kind of disagree with you with the whole Levy, and maybe Conte system, but the Conte system is, he relies on his wing backs a lot, and that's what we don't have. We don't have. Perisic is the player that he's used before, but Emerson and Doherty, they're not Conte players. They've never been, and Conte relies on them a lot. So for me, I just think Levy just needs to focus on what he needs right now and pretty much just push the boat out a little bit more. But in saying that, like, if I'm just fearing that, or about that meeting, what they had, if Levy doesn't give him what he wants, Conte's going to walk, and then who are we going to go to? Poch. Yeah. Pochettino.
Which look, I've got a soft thing for Poch. I love Poch.
Look, I do too.
It'd be great for him to come back and do what he did before and win. But for me, he's not going to. It won't happen because the pressure of trophies will be on him even worse than what it was before because we've seen what he can do. So I want it to be where Poch comes back when we've won a trophy or two. Then Conte goes and Poch comes back and then the love of the club because like, oh, don't worry, we won a trophy 1 or 2 years ago. Rebuild your team, do what you got to do like you did last time. And I was as you were talking, and I get where you're coming from. We're disagreeing and stuff. I do understand that when you bring Conte in, you should be getting his players that he wants. But I also do think that we're only 3 players away from staying in top 4. I think if we get a decent centre back, a creative midfielder, and a right wing back, we can survive the rest of the season with Champions League. We won't win Champions League. I don't think we're going to get anywhere in the cups. I think we're still in the Carabao. No, we got one this week in FA, don't we?
Yeah, we're knocked out of Carabao.
Yeah, we're playing FA against Portsmouth this weekend or next weekend?
No.
This weekend. But if we get those 3 positions, a proper player, I heard we're going for De Vrij and Dumfries again. I'm hearing that again. If we get Porro, De Vrij, and then we get maybe Madison or was it Malinoski?
Malinoski, yeah, Malinoski.
If we get any of those 4 or any of the first 2 and any one of Madison,
who would you prefer? Who?
Madison.
You're 3.
Oh, easy. Porro, De Vrij, even though De Vrij is aging, I'd rather Bastoni, but Bastoni ain't going to come. We ain't going to spend the cash on Bastoni. No. And Madison. Madison, proven. He is a bit injury prone, but he's English quota too. So that means you can free up another spot in the squad for a non-English player. De Vrij to replace that centre mid. So if we got De Vrij, I'd play Romero, De Vrij, and Langley. That would be my back 3 with Porro on the right, Perisic on the left, and then you literally play. I would go for a 5-3-2 to be honest until Kulu's fully fit. But if you're going to a 5-2-3, Kulu, Son, Kane, and then you play like a defensive midfielder in Bentancur, Højbjerg, and then you play Madison. And then if you need to transition it where you need to be a bit more defensive, you take off one of the wingers and you put in a midfielder. Yep. But I think just 3. Those 3 positions, a right wing back, a centre back, and a centre mid, box-to-box creative centre mid, we can stay in top 4. I'm not saying we'll challenge. I'm not saying we'll blitz the top 4. No. I'm saying that will push us to the point where we can start winning consistently. And then we can go into summer with Champions League again. We can upgrade it at the other centre back, upgrade the goalkeeper, maybe upgrade the midfield again a little bit because the top end doesn't need to be upgraded now. No. Richarlison, Kane, Son, Kulu, maybe one more winger, or because Richarlison could play wing and striker, maybe one more winger to cover Son and Kulu, and that's it. 5 up top, and then the rest needs to be upgraded, and we need a backup for Perisic because Cess isn't good enough.
Yeah,
I think this window, the 3 players, and it's probably going to cost about 120 mil in total. I'd say about 120, 130 mil. And you'll make half of that back in Champions League.
Exactly. And look, as you said, talking about Ryan Sessegnon, I think he's not proving enough. I think he's just not stepping up as much as we want him to. So I think his time is maybe up. I think we need to move him on and get someone like another left wing back. I don't know on the top of my head at the moment. But I agree with you. I think those 3 players is key. But then also I heard Skriniar's on the free in the summer.
Yeah, but that's summer. Do you reckon you go for him on the cheap now? Tell him, we'll give you a bit of money and we'll take Skriniar.
Because
otherwise he's going for free in the summer, and someone will get him on higher wages.
Exactly. So that's what I mean. Like, you might as well get him now before he goes on the free, because all the big clubs are going to go sneaking around for him. So I'd rather get Skriniar or Davish. Porro for sure. Yeah, Porro. He's kind of play. He's the kind of,
and he's young. He's young too. He's a young attacking minded right wing back. So that's what we need.
He's pretty good, and we've seen him in the Champions League. He's got a good cross on him. He gets up the pitch, which Kula will like. Him coming behind. And to be honest, creative midfielder, I'll go Madison, 100% Madison. But
I'm hearing you talking about Marcus Edwards, but I just think that just because he played against us twice and was decent and he's English doesn't mean that we should be putting all our eggs in his basket.
I'll push the boat out a little bit more to get Madison. I'll literally push it out. I'll try to beat Newcastle. I'll go, we're going to go for him because he's proven, Premier League proven, and he's kind of player we need. But look, we just have to wait and see how the weeks go on with the transfer, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm not. I spent the whole day today just flicking Twitter, waiting for good positive news. Deal closed, deal done. Didn't see anything of it, but I don't think Conte will walk. I think Levy will do a little bit, but I want Conte to be harsh. If it's not enough, he needs to go, and just for himself, for pride. And the thing is if Conte goes, the whole fan base will turn on Levy. It'll be complete switch, and Levy,
there'll be protesters.
Levy, if you're watching this, brother, like dead set, if you fuck this up, that there's no chance you're going to be forgiven for this, and the fans already hate you for what you've done in the past. They'll never forgive you for this. No matter if you stick Poch and he wins 4 leagues for you, they're still not going to forgive you for losing Conte. So, on that note, before we wrap it up, guys, make sure you are catching our live watch along. It's 7 a.m. Is it 7:40? No, 7:45 a.m. It'll be Thursday morning for us.
That's cool time.
Wednesday night in England. Live watch along as we take on Crystal Palace away, and that's going to be a fucking hard game.
I'm not looking forward to that game, man. I'm really not.
If you're watching this video, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and hit the share button. Share it around all your friends. Appreciate everyone that joined our live stream.
Please, thumbs up, please.
In our last live stream, that was our best live stream in terms of attendance. So I appreciate everyone coming out for that. Delane, I appreciate you for jumping on again. As usual, you're being consistently on. But as I said, the boys will be back since they're back from their holiday. So they will be on the next live stream. So on that note, take it easy. And as we always say here at TotalOzSpurs, stay Spursy.
Stay Spursy, guys.